News. This book. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlemle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Dalmongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, just a touch. UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank, let's go. In this edition, drama in Parliament as convener of Pressure Group Economic Fighters League, Ernesto Yeboah, is arrested in the House for protesting against proposed ultra-modern 450-seater edifice.
This is a fake democracy, and we are not afraid to say it. Young people of this country, rise up. This is your nation, rise up.
We'll be live in Parliament as more civil society groups protest the arrest.
We don't know what the problem is. We don't know whether saying drop that chamber is now a crime, and we haven't been told what he's being charged with. So we are calling lawyers to come here, and then at that point, I'm sure we'll get the information what the charges.
More funds to be allocated to district assemblies as Supreme Court rules that government's total revenue must be calculated to include petroleum and non-tax revenue paid to central government.
The annual budget funding amount is $473 million US. So that amount alone gives the District Assembly's Common Fund 118 million in addition to what it has now.
And Tepa Senior High School takes early lead ahead of Accra Academy and St. John's Grammar School in the second stage of the quarterfinals of the National Science and Maths Quiz.
At the end of the second round, Accra Academy has 18 points. St. John's Grammar School has 20 points. Tepa Senior High School has 25 points.
We are live at the University of Ghana for updates and preparations for the epic contest between West Eagle Senior High School, Achimota School, and Prempeh College at 1 p.m.
Today we hope to challenge our limits.
They should expect that we will come and do our best and we will lift the new trophy.
In sports.
Now, the run of 16 matches of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations resumed this afternoon, and from Ghana's camp, the Black Stars have received a double injury boost ahead of Monday's clash against Tunisia after Thomas Ejapon and Jonathan Mensah return to training. Details coming up in a jiffy.
And later. Wendy Shea comes under the spotlight, but not for the right reasons. We'll tell you why she's suffering social media backlash and bring you her reaction. We have all that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. We'll get to hear a screaming Ernesto Yeboah, convener of Pressure Group Economic Fighters League, protesting as he was bundled up a while ago by security officials at Parliament House. Mr. Yeboah was arrested by Parliament police after he disrupted parliamentary proceedings to protest against the proposed ultra-modern 450-seater edifice. Listen to him as he was arrested by police.
You want to arrest us? You want to arrest us just because you don't like what we are saying? This is a fake democracy, and we are not afraid to say it. Young people of this country, rise up. Young people of this country, this is your nation, rise up. Our leaders are fooling, tell them. We are not afraid of anybody. You can kick me, beat me, kill me, but you will not stop me from speaking. I will say what has to be heard. I will speak truth to power. Nobody will restrain me from speaking truth to power. I will say what I have to say. Drop that chamber. Drop that chamber. If there are no men in this country, I will stand up and say it. Drop.
So you have there Ernesto Yeboah, he's convener of Pressure Group Economic Fighters League. My colleague Joseph Akable has been monitoring that protest and witnessed what happened and joins us on the line. So you saw it all. Tell us how it all went down.
So it all started shortly after the majority leader had read the business statement. And after reading it, MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, actually asked the question about when the majority leader will be briefing the House on this plan to build a new parliamentary complex. Once that question was asked, MPs made contributions, and Honorable Katie Amon, the MP for Adansi Asokwa, who was also contributing, premised this submission by saying that Parliament will not sit under trees. It was right after he had said that Ernesto Yeboah, who is a member of the Economic Fighters League, started shouting, "Drop that chamber." He was quickly removed by some security personnel at the public gallery, which is directly opposite the Speaker and the Speaker of Parliament. It was Honorable Joseph who was presiding over proceedings, the Deputy Speaker for Parliament. And so once he was removed, a second gentleman, Abeku Adams, also started screaming, "Drop that chamber." He was also quickly removed. And a third individual was also picked up, and all three of them were taken to the Parliament police station located on the premise of Parliament. I have with me Hadi Yakubu, who is a member of the Economic Fighters League. Right now, your leaders have been arrested. What was the plan in the first place, and what do you intend to do now that they've been picked up?
Well, our message was very simple, that plan that they have to build a new parliamentary chamber, it's uncalled for, it's unwarranted, it's baseless, it's useless, and we don't need it. People have been chanting on social media and chanting on radio and on TV, but it looks like our members of parliament no longer have ordinary ears that we have. They have complex ears, and therefore we have to deliver messages in a complex way. And that's why we've come here to make that clear to them, that we don't need that parliamentary chamber, and $200 million, we can put it to so many good uses. 5,000 6-unit classroom blocks, over 166 fully finished clinics. So many of the things that are not being done. If we use $200 million, we can do them comfortably.
What do you make of the arrest of your colleagues?
It speaks to to a state that is hell-bent on maintaining a fake democracy, a democracy that prevents people from having access to their elected representatives.
But was that a right way? Couldn't you have come by petition and forwarded it to the leadership of Parliament, perhaps?
When I was voting for a member of Parliament, I did not have to write a petition to him to vote for him. When my colleagues were voting for their members of Parliament, they did not have to write any petitions. Why is it that now that I have a simple message for him, I have to write petitions? We are saying that all these things have been put in place just so that they can oppress the people and continue to keep them down. But we have a simple message that this democracy, this fake democracy, would not continue to put us down. The people have arisen, and we are no longer going back to sleep.
So that is Hadi Yakubu there. You heard him. He is a member of the Economic Fighters League. As I speak to you now, he, together with his colleagues, they have pitched camp right in front of the main entrance of Parliament as they continue singing, "Drop that chamber." The other two individuals have been arrested. They are being kept at the Parliament police station. And this is the latest information coming from Parliament, NFA.
Very well. That's my colleague, Joseph Akable. We'll get to speak to our parliamentary correspondent as well. But others have also joined this protest, and there's a bigger one that is also slated for 13th July. Rashida Adams has been speaking to my colleague, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo.
Apparently, picketing is illegal, so we had to come in one by one, and some of them went to the chamber. So all they were doing is, and then we heard that somebody, he was just loud, he said, "Drop that chamber," in the chamber, and he was just bundled up. We don't know what the problem is. We don't know whether saying "drop that chamber" is now a crime, and we haven't been told what he's being charged with. So we are calling lawyers for them to be present. I'm sure in about 30 minutes we'll be able to wrestle some to come here, and then at that point, I'm sure we'll get the information what the charges are.
Do you have any information as to whether they were manhandled or how they were brought?
We saw it on TV. I personally saw it on TV. I was in somebody's office when I saw it. He was basically bundled out. I don't know what constitutes manhandling, but we did see that he was bundled out, and there wasn't any time for us to even see exactly what was going on. So let's just hope that nothing happens to him while he's in there. We'll stick around to make sure nothing does.
So just to get a sense, at the moment, your demand is what exactly?
They need to drop that chamber. We are not interested in the chamber. The petition basically says, and the letter that we were just printing a letter to actually submit to Parliament, asking questions about what monies have gone into the project, how much was earmarked for it, what processes did it go through, etc. So we are still trying to get answers to those. So we're just let's deal with this first. We didn't know we would have to deal with this.
And for the gentlemen who are still in police custody, your expectation is that what should be done?
Oh no, this shouldn't be anything. I'm not sure this is any big crime. Just saying something, shouting something in Parliament shouldn't be a big.
You heard there, Rashida Adams. We'll go live to Joseph Opoku Gakpo shortly, who is our parliamentary correspondent, to bring us the very latest and reaction from the chamber itself shortly here on the Midday News. But whilst we wait, let's head to the Supreme Court, because the Apex Court has, in a unanimous decision, ruled that government realignment of the amount to be handed district assemblies is unconstitutional. The Apex Court has held that total revenue must be calculated to include petroleum revenue allotted as annual budget support amount and non-tax revenue paid to central government. The minority MPs in 2017 accused government of allocating an amount less than the required 5%, that's 1.5 billion of the total revenue, to the assemblies. Now, government maintained the minority misunderstood the formula used for computing the 5% allocation. Two minority MPs, Benjamin Podo and Richard Kwashiga, dragged the government to the court seeking answers. Now, the 7-member panel, presided over by Chief Justice Ofaya Kufu, has clarified that the law limiting proportion of revenue due for allocation is in contravention of the Constitution and hereby declared null and void. Mr. Podo, who is MP for Ho Central, says assemblies will have more funds for development starting next year.
All of these coming together now will enhance the base such that the amount that will be due and released to the Disassembly Common Fund will be greatly enhanced. I can just touch on one. This year, the annual budget funding amount is $473 million. So that amount alone gives, when you take 5% of it, gives the Disassembly's Common Fund 118 million in addition to what it has now. Then they're going to use all the non-tax revenues from cocoa, gold. In fact, the judgment was specific that why can't we use revenues available to Ghana in a particular year from our extractive industries? So it will have an enhanced amount in the fund.
And in terms of the utilization by the assemblies, we've often heard criticism leveled against the assemblies that they don't make good use of this. With this enhanced money that you have secured via this judgment for them, what are your expectations as to how they utilize it going forward?
What we should do is to ensure that the assemblies manage these funds properly to the benefit of the local people over which the assembly has authority.
You heard that Benjamin Podo is the Deputy Ranking Member on Parliament's Local Government Committee, speaking to Joseph Akable, our court correspondent. Now, when you're hungry any time of the day, picking up a meal from a street food vendor becomes a convenient option. But a recent study has revealed many of the foods you buy from the streets are poorly handled. In the following report, Joy News in 10, Sharon Dankwa takes a look at the situation and how one woman keeps her food safe for her customers.
Lining the streets and dirt roads of Ghana are a variety of food vendors with a plethora of potentially sizzling and mouth-watering foods for sale, making street food a popular option for most residents. But many customers are overlooking vendors' constant struggle to maintain good sanitation levels. The responsibility has now been placed on vendors like Mercy Kata, who strongly believes in her duty to assure that everything she sells and produces is properly cleaned and preserved until it's sold.
You can see there is dust anywhere. So like 30 minutes, you clean your things, you make sure you keep the dust off. Everything is clean. Keep cleaning till you close.
Vendors in the city of Accra have been granted a wide range of freedom, giving them complete responsibility for food care, and for some, providing the opportunity for unsanitary practices using their own discretion.
Some of the bananas are still fresh in 3 days, but some become soft. They become unattractive, so you can't display them. I got the pineapples about 4 days ago, but they still look good.
Many street food vendors like this one say they've never been visited by food inspectors of any kind, and some take advantage of this freedom. According to a study done by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, in 2016, the raw meat, fish, or eggs kept on the spot to prepare food are stored in a fridge by 1/3 of street food vendors. 5% kept it in a cooler, and 2/3 did not keep it cool. Some customers say that, for the most part, they trust vendors to be sanitary and have never had a bad experience.
In this area, you can see that most of them, they're mostly clean. I've been in most of this area, so my vigilance is very clear because most of these areas, yeah, they are clean. I'll give it about 100%.
But that can't be assured for all customers.
I bought a food on the streets at Sama community tonight. It was watching when I ate it. I had a stomach upset, started running the whole day. Yeah, it was very bad.
Mercy has made it a point to do all that she can to increase the number of customers with this trusting mindset.
So I think if you want to do something, you don't look at the difficulties at all. When your mind is made up that this is what you want to do, no matter what it takes, you do it and you do it well.
Reporting for Joy News, I'm Sharon Dankwa.
Now, head of the Food Safety Management Department at the FDA, Jocelyn Ejakwa Musa, says the authority has already taken steps to ensure safer street foods.
Based on the report that you just showed, the 2016 reports by FAO, based on that, there's now a project that is ongoing. That is the Healthy Street Food Incentives Project. And this project is actually looking at street food vendors complying with good hygienic practice, not only having a food handler's certificate. We are looking at how, so we are actually, with the support of FAO, we are implementing this project. It was, we did an inception meeting last year in 2018, in August, and then just last month, that was the 6th of June, we had the maiden training for street food vendors under the project.
You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. We're right back.
This news broadcast from Joy FM is also heard live on Love FM in Kumasi, as well as our affiliates, ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takrade, Radio Jubilee in Keta, Radio Justice and Bishava Radio in Tamale, Saboba FM, Volta Premier in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Sky FM in Sunyani, Radio A1 in Bolgatanga, and worldwide on the internet at myjoyonline.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's head to the stables of the Youth Employment Agency because they've created a platform that will connect job seekers to employers of all fields within the public. Justin Kodia is head of the YEA and he joins us here on the Midday News. We are grateful for your time here on the Midday News. Tell us a bit about this platform.
Thank you very much, Ifa, and good afternoon to your cherished guests also. The YEA Job Center is an inspiration from our Section 2 and Section 3 of the Youth Employment Agency Act, which talks about facilitating, setting the standards and procedure for employment and career development of the youth in the country. In the past, the agency has concentrated more on development of models for the youth of this country. But if in every year you have 250,000 young men and women entering the labor market, and only 2% can be absorbed by the public sector, leaving 98%. It means the agency needed to think outside the box to come out with innovations that will provide job opportunities for the youth. So basically, the YEA Job Center is going to have two components, which one is the online portal, which will give opportunity for young men and women in this country to upload their details, where their location also, and also to have opportunity of assessing job opportunities in Ghana and outside Ghana also. Then also it will be the walk-in center where young men and women can visit our offices in the regions and the district for the same purpose of finding employment opportunities for them. Again, one issue that we have in this country that most industry players complain about is people having the requisite skills for the industry. So
but Mr. Kodia, where are these jobs that you're connecting these youth to, though?
Definitely, even if they are few, we need to prepare our young men and women for them. And we need to have a training hub to train more young men and women, even on how to even prepare CVs and also even train them on entrepreneurship, on even how to be on themselves and not even rely on government or private institutions always recruit them. So the platform is going to help us to have a proper database of young men and women. And another thing that we have not looked at is the comparative advantage of Ghana human resource. Most countries demand teachers, most countries demand people from the health service and several qualifications. Nowadays, we hear of Ghanaians going outside to the Middle East, going outside to places where they are even more treated and their fundamental human rights are abused. Through this platform, we are going to formalize it and regulate it and make sure that in areas and in countries that Ghana can even export labor, the people will go there in a well-protected and coordinated system so that at least at the end of the day, while they are getting greener pastures, we're also protecting their fundamental human rights also.
So quickly though, Mr. Kodia, your ambassadors at the YEA, you know the issues about exactly Wendy Shea and your visit to the former president, Jikum Kufuor. Well, Wendy Shea has just issued a statement apologizing to the YEA. An apology you're accepting, or did you even have an issue with her in the first place?
Definitely, we are young people. And as we are learning each and every day, we are bound to make certain mistakes in life. And if we don't make mistakes, we can never correct ourselves and move forward. So definitely the agency has accepted the unqualified apology for Wendy Shea in good faith. And we know going forward, it shall be a lesson for all of us.
But the concern, though, is you knew the kind of, the way Wendy Shea dresses before you appointed her as an ambassador. So why should she apologize for the way she looked yesterday or that day?
Definitely, everybody has advantages and disadvantages. And we are not looking at the disadvantage. Whoever we are, wherever we find ourselves, definitely we have people that we are an icon to them. And the whole project of the Youth Employment Agency is as much as possible to get many young people who are well known to even market the whole project about the Job Center, our Artisan Directory and flagship program for Ghanaians to even understand what it's all about. So these are all part of the media.
We're grateful for your time there. That's the Chief Executive of the Youth Employment Agency, Justin Kodia. Still to come, though, on the Midday News. Afropop parties, Wendy Shea comes another spotlight, but not for the right reasons. We'll tell you why, as she's suffering social media backlash, and bring you her reaction. Of course, you've heard the reaction of the YEA. That's coming up shortly after this break.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go.
It's here again. The much anticipated Hearty Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Fair is here again. The experience, the B2B matchmaking sessions were rewarding. This year's edition promises to be much more exciting with variety of fruits and vegetable products on display. Come source for your quality fruits and vegetables, connect with agribusiness actors, or exhibit your produce. Exhibitors can call 024-967-2135, 024-967-2135. or email exhibition@heartyfresh.org. Exhibition opens from July 2nd to 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Theme: promoting quality fruits and vegetables for a competitive domestic and export sector. Side attraction: July 2nd, opening ceremony. July 3rd, seminars. July 4th, Hearty Fresh Business Platform meeting and award ceremony. Attendance is free. Don't miss out.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports now, and AFCON is back today.
Yes, and we've got it. The tournament switching into top gear this afternoon with 2 games out of the 8 fixtures for the last 16. Benin will play Morocco in our first knockout game, and that coverage is on at 4 p.m. Also, we've got Senegal taking on Uganda later on at 7 p.m. There'll be live commentary on the 2 matches here on Joy 99.7 FM starting 4 p.m. The Black Stars are not in action until Monday against Tunisia, but they returned to training yesterday, and the return of duo Thomas Japan and Jonathan Mensah is a major boost for the technical team. Ibrahim Tanko is assistant coach of the Black Stars.
It's worrying, but as I said now, Thomas Japan started yesterday and it looks very good, and Jonathan Mensah will also definitely come back. So we hope that Christian Achu, even though the doctors are not so sure, but he's here and he's getting better every day. We hope that he will come back. But if he's not, and I'm sure that those who are here are going to do the job for him also to be very happy.
Ibrahim Tanko there talking to Benedict in Egypt. Now, Kumasi Asante Kotoko are adamant that they've taken the right decision to reassign head coach Sika Akono to the position of a technical director, as explained by the club's chief executive, George Amoako.
We want to have a very solid technical team with very quality players. That is what we are trying to do. And for now, it is a work in progress. So we don't talk about it. I'm only sad to say, in normal with Master Temba Media, when we finish, it will come out. We want an improved season. We want to win the African Cup in the shortest possible time. That is what we have said, and that is why we are pursuing.
George Amoako, but hashtag is simple. Break the jinx, Gehe up.
We stand with Gehe.
Yeah, we're with Gehe.
Yeah. Of course. So on that note, we go live to the University of Ghana Business School. You know, Tepa Senior High School, ahead of the Gehe competition, though, Tepa Senior High School has taken an early lead in the second stage of the quarterfinals of the National Science and Maths Quiz, ahead of St. John's Grammar and Accra Academy. At the end of the second round, Tepa SHS was leading with 25 points, followed by St. John's Grammar School with 20 points, and Accra Academy with just 18 points. We'll go over to Maxwell Agbagba and see if that result has changed. So, Maxwell, what has changed? Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello.
Has that competition ended, or what has changed?
Well, we have the last question. Maybe in the fifth round as the final round. Shocking results we have after round 4. Tepa Senior High School is leading with 44 points. Accra Academy is trailing with 29 points. And then St. John's Grammar, they have 35 points. So Tepa, it looks good for Tepa SHS. The contest will be ending. It has ended, so we'll just be waiting for the official declaration, MFA.
Whilst we wait for the official declaration, a contest also that we're all waiting for in 30 minutes, that contest between Wesley Girls, Achimoto School and Prempeh College. People are massing up already for that?
Already, MFA, as early as 10 o'clock a.m. Their contest is actually at 1 p.m. As early as 10 a.m., we saw some buses arriving here at the RS Amagashi Auditorium. If you come to the basement of the University of Ghana Business School, it's filled to capacity with old students of the competing schools. And they're coming in their, school paraphernalia, some of them in their school clothes, all of them quite, optimistic that they're going to win today's contest. Achimota School is coming to this contest as the champions of the Greater Accra Regional Championship that was organized. They put up a very spirited performance during that competition that was held in their school.
I expect to see a different this year. People have this notion that we never passed the quarterfinals, but we know that this year is going to be different. We're going to move on to the semi-finals or hopefully the final. So we're not intimidated at all about what's happening.
And for the sake of Enimwa, Enimado, we all stand with Gehe, and we're hoping that they would win that competition and qualify to the semi-final stage. That's a popular tune, Uber Driver, by Afropop artist Wendy Shay, who in the last 24 hours or so has been trending on various social media platforms, but not for the right reasons. The Rough Town Records artist posted a picture yesterday in which former President John Agyekum Kufuor is seen looking towards her chest while she looked into the camera. For some critics, the photo cast the former president in a bad light. Well, Wendy Shay has since tweeted an apology. My colleague Mapitso Sibidi has details of that. Maps, before you give me the apology though, what are people saying about this issue?
Okay, so this one is from Prince Yao, who says, in all of this, I think her managers failed her. But what about the handlers of the ex-president too? Why didn't they reject her or refuse her from seeing the ex-president with a simple explanation? And this one is from @Abraham Law, who says, so she had the guts to wear this outfit to visit the president. This is complete bankruptcy of our culture. Abdullah says, so she can't wear decent clothes to meet this honorable man and is asking. And Abre says, sometimes I wonder what you think before going to a place. This is not the appropriate dressing to visit an elderly, respected man. But
we
on
ought to cut her
Instagram,
some slack though, because they know that this is how she dresses before she was appointed an ambassador.
exactly. But Wendy Shay official posted on her Instagram on the 4th of July 2019. I posted an image of myself and His Excellency former President John Agyekum Kufuor on my social media timeline. This was after I visited him with my fellow YEA ambassadors officially. The image I posted went viral on social media for the wrong reasons, and I'll wish to render an unqualified apology to His Excellency and the board and management of the YEA. I had no intention of bringing his good image into any public disrepute. I would wish to apologize to the general public as well, with most of the comments being directed to my outfit. I am a young lady and I am still learning. To err is human, to forgive is divine. I promise to do better next time. Once again, I am sorry.
So the difference between stage and official duties, I think. And that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apau. Enjoy your weekend.